The other day I put my video out about the passing of Ron, who was shot by the police. But the stories are very strange about his death, although the police are going to put a video out on the 31st of July about how he died. They're calling it a homicide. That is a picture that's on his Facebook, so I suppose that, well, it might be the man that I put on the other video. I wasn't sure if it was the same man, but I suppose put a hat on him and leaning back. Maybe it is the picture of the other one. But that definitely is Ron. He had a nice face. I never actually asked to put the camera on, even though we talked a lot. And so I actually thought that he was a much bigger man. Maybe he was. I think he told me he was, and he's lost some weight. But that was a picture of Ron. But the stories just keep changing about what happened to him. So there's one story where he's on the porch, he's shooting into his house. The police tell him to put the gun down. He turns around, they shoot him. And then there's also this article that this woman has said on one of the TV reports. So we'll just play a little bit of that article.
Sheriff Lewis says that dispatchers actually received a call around 8 o'clock saying that someone was shooting into a home, telling Fox Carolina that dispatchers could hear those gunshots through the other side of the phone. When deputies arrived on scene, they say that it tried to calm the suspect down. However, he started shooting at deputies. That's when a deputy fired back, killing the suspect. And those police sirens or deputy sirens that you hear right there, that's a sound that many people heard throughout Greenville County as deputies were rushing to the scene. This is what it looked like a little bit earlier. And the video that you just saw was taken by a viewer near downtown Fox Carolina, actually speaking to neighbors in the area who heard the gunshots, witnessed that chase, and even smelling that smoke from the gun.
My boyfriend was in the backyard with the dogs, and then we heard 6 gunshots. I came rushing out and we saw a cop car that came around the corner without his lights on. And then that's when we heard the chase. It sounded like a bunch of cop cars were chasing around the neighborhood. But it sounded so close that it sounded like it was behind our fence, and you can smell the gun go off. Like, I could smell it, like it was fresh. So we thought it was there. And we just kind of watched the chase, and then at that time it took less than 10 minutes and there was 10 cop cars down the street.
So this person I've been talking to for months was on his YouTube channel, a bit of a funny video where he's cursing a bit, but I think it's because you could see the faces in the footage where he's filming. I mean, you either see them or you don't, but he was a man who was waking up and realizing that life was very different to he thought. But to me, he was a gentle person, fairly gentle, a Gemini, so he talked a lot, filming these weird things outside his house, these orbs and all these weird things. And maybe it wasn't so interesting to other people, but he could see all this stuff. I think they've taken his computers actually, because it might have filmed what happened. But that was outside his house, so he would had to have been shot outside his house. But maybe the disturbance started then, or they could see when he left the house, I suppose. But I don't trust the police, so you know what they did to him. So there are these stories where he's killed on his doorstep, and there are stories like that woman says where he was running away from the police because they had some kind of summons for him. But what that was, or maybe they had something to come into his house. I could imagine him getting quite irate and going, "Get off my land." But did the argument start there? Because if he was shooting into someone else's house, then he was where that lady says, next to her. And by that time they would have known it was Ron, and they would know that he lived, oh, I don't know, it doesn't say how many, but say 4 or 5 houses up the road. So you wouldn't have smelt the gun just there when it happened. So what does that mean? That he was running away from the police and they shot him? She says she heard 6 shots. And then suddenly this man is all over the news. So they did it sort of between the 15th, no, maybe 16th, 17th and 18th, something like that. Then it stops because obviously the police say they're going to do a report, but I don't believe them. Because in other articles I've seen it say 1 officer shot him, into at least 1 officer shot him. So the stories are so hazy, and I've spoken to his aunt and she called them rumours because they don't know any more than I'm telling you, really, unless they've learnt something in the last day. But they weren't told anything as I talked to them. And then I spoke to another one of his friends, who she also can't understand what happened to him. She's devastated. You know, it's someone you know, and he's gunned down like a terrorist with 21 police cars turning up, or at least 30 soldiers. And even his aunt told me she could see in one picture, obviously on the telly or something, that there was about 30 police officers there. I mean, what the hell could have happened for all that? It's so sketchy and it's such a lie. But he's dead now. Anyway, he was a human being. I'm going to put a little bit of Ron on because he was a human being. And I only the other day saw that he put these videos on where you could almost see him, but you can see his mannerisms. You can see what kind of person he was, sort of, because you can't quite see his face, but there's a picture of his face. And then I'm going to play a few more anomalies that I saw in the footage that is whatever they are. But anyway, let's continue and listen to Dear Ron. And just to add, it's like it was a film. It's like it's not real. It's like a horror movie. It's like those videos that they put out a few years ago when the police were so over the top. Except it happened to him. Happened to someone I know who seemed quite a peaceful person who was waking up and just had a lot to say. Oh, I just cannot believe. I know they're going to lie. Are they going to tell us which house he was at? Running away? All just sounds so sad, and at the end of it, poor Ron has gone anyway. So sad. Anyway, let's continue, as I said, with the video. Sorry, a PPS. When talking to his friend, you know, she said that he had licenses for these guns. He had no warrants on him, he had no problems. She said, look, if he wanted to shoot in his house, that's up to him. But she said, I don't believe he would have done that. So, on that score, if he wouldn't be want to do it in his own home, why would he be at someone's house shooting at someone else? If he'd lived there for years on end, why would he suddenly get up one day and do that? But he was capturing some really weird stuff on his cameras. We're going to play a little bit of it. Anyway, I just find the whole thing absolutely disturbing to the max.
Okay, this video is about my comments I'll leave when people ask me about, and it's too much to write in the comments and too hard to explain in text. You can't get content, you can't feel the energy and the frequency and vibration. That's what I work with. I know other people that work with is going to hear this and know the truth from a lie. Because a lie don't vibrate right, it lays down here on the floor. Truth vibrates at different resonance. You tune in to thyself, you know. Nobody can lie to people. I'll let them because it's entertaining. I used to have an ego. It exaggerates and adds stuff, but you know, that's the way it is. But you can't lie to somebody that's tuned into themselves that knows thyself. You can't. And don't believe it, they know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just thought I'd throw that in there, let y'all know why it lies, called a lie. So, if you want to catch a bunch of butterflies, You don't go out there for net and chase them all day long. You can, but somewhere out and be frustrating. It's easier to make a garden, put flowers and stuff butterflies love. And you just sit out there and they come to you. You got to prepare the ground for it to come to. Everybody wants to prepare their bodies and stuff, and they do a little bit of meditating and stuff, but they don't really free their mind, or everything you've been taught has been a lie. Let's see what we find. I changed the colors. Okay, that's the sun in the center. I have no idea what that is. That's what we just seen. I don't know. There's an orb there. And I'll show y'all tomorrow. I'll do another one with me going back and forth. I can't do it except when it's live, so I just cut it on, let it play all day like this to see what it got. Then we got something else in the back. Yeah, it's been a minute, but ain't a lot been going on, but we got this going on. What the hell this is, but we got something and it flashes like it may be a plane, but I've never seen a plane lit up like that. So I don't know. So we'll check it out again in slow motion for just a second. Like that, very well could be a plane, could be a UFO. I've never seen a plane look like this and looks. So we can do this. I do think it flashes at some point a couple of times. That sure looks weird, because I've seen lots of planes and I ain't never seen none look like this. Well, like I say, the moon's pretty bright, ain't no doubt about that, but I've never seen the moon light a plane up like that. Usually just one light, then you see the red flash every now and then. So, really don't get it. So, any opinions will be welcomed. You know, I don't care what nobody thinks, as long as you think for yourself, I don't care. This will be the last time. I just wanted to show it again in slow motion, zoomed in a little bit. And I'm ruling out insect. I don't see no wings flapping or nothing. It's flying in a pretty straight line, it appears to be. You know, it ain't, I don't know. Seemed like it flashed right there, though. Something did. Flash there. But I'm going to come back with some more videos later. I got a few things that's been going on that's pretty interesting. See if anybody else has experienced it, seen it, noticed it, but peace.
Ron made quite a lot of videos about the things that he could see moving around outside his house. So some people, oh stupid you, it's a spider. But when you see this, and this is in the daytime, there's just something very strange going on. First of all, I thought that maybe that was a, you know when they fire guns and then they got a target on you? I thought it was that, but I don't think it is. Because now it's separated into two. Do you see it as it's moving around here? There's this white thing that's moving around these offices. And you could say it's a bug, but they're filming a little distance away, and then that would mean that that was quite big, that they would know that this thing was there. So then I thought, well, maybe they've put, well, they shouldn't have done, should they? But they've got a gun on them. But you see, it's all like, I don't know what it's like, but it's moving around here, and I thought that was very, very strange indeed. One more time before we go on. Here it is. What is that moving around? But Ron was capturing these things. I'll show you his channel. This is Ron's channel on YouTube. Videos about the funny things his camera is picking up. And obviously there's these videos, I can't quite see his face, but on these videos, but I put a picture in a little earlier of actually what he looked like, so he could be the man in the other picture, but I was suddenly thinking, were they the same people? But anyway, and then let's go and look at his videos very quickly, because he was capturing these things in the sky anyway at his house. I mean, he did some brilliant footage here. This is just after the eclipse. But even, you know, when he watched a butterfly and all the orbs, he was watching all the orbs coming. He could see them. And that's how we started talking, was the orbs. Yeah. But on here there is a little strange video. He's sort of ranting around, but maybe that's, I spoke to Claudia about that, and he said that it was the energies that had, you know, it got to Ron. But I'm still very upset what happened to him, as we're going to continue with this video. What are those things? They're quite big. I mean, if they were flying around, even if they were butterflies, then they would know they were there, but they don't seem to notice these things are flying around them. Crazy. And then on to this bit. I'm going to add a bit of a video I did in March or something about Mickey. There you go, did you see it up here? Suddenly, out of nowhere, is an orb. And I saw that in my bedroom. I'm going to add that bit of footage after this. Look, there's an orb. You know, in my video, my other little video I'm going to put on, I say, is that my Mickey? So is that Ron? He's even in the news, but a different way. But the news, there were so many news articles, you know, these things, videos, saying what, these stories that have gone on. It's all crazy, but we're just looking at the other anomalies I see in the footage. But as I saw that over Mickey, it just comes, you see it, and it disappears. That cannot be a fly, because otherwise, you know, people will go, oh, that's the shutter of the camera. But if that's the case, then the sign would be doing the same thing. The clouds would be flickering because they're moving. A man, when he's walking towards the camera, would do the same thing because he's moving. Because the shutter speed of the camera can't keep up then. I don't know what it is, but, you know, in my other video with Mickey, they were saying that that's not a speck of dust, that's an orb. And it's the same thing with that. That's what I see, but anyway, maybe that's Ron. But let's move on. Just probably where I picked the video up, I suddenly realised I could see this orb going across. So we're looking at little Minnie. She's a little sweetie. She loves me, but she hates that cat. I know they're sitting close to each other, but if he woke up now, she'd hiss at him. But there he is, and then there I saw it. Do you see it? The orb which comes across. We're just going to play it a few more times. I couldn't believe it. Was that Mickey? Is that Mickey there? I mean, some people might say that's a speck of dust. But the thing is, it disappears in front of the camera, so how could it be a speck of dust? That's an orb. That's an orb. And it's really strange because I don't think I would actually see myself in that mirror, but at times I'm wondering whether the orb stops and that's me. But I'm not sure whether I don't know whether I'd be able to see myself at this. I don't know. But it looks a bit like me sitting there, with the cardigan on and stuff. I thought that was a bit strange, but that orb goes over his cat. I'd say Mickey loved this cat. I'm not saying he didn't love Minnie. He did love Minnie, but he loved this cat. This was, you know, his little beast. And there you go, look, if you look in the mirror, it just looks a bit like me sitting there with a cardigan on. Look, there's my head and my shoulder, and it could be me, but I don't know about that. It's just a bit blurry, isn't it? Because I've blown it up. But look at that orb going across the screen. Wow, is that my Mickey? Cool, that would be amazing if it was him.